I kind of see where I think Cardano has its specific advantages over other blockchains. And I think that the main one is the fact that the richness of data that we can add to any asset. So what I showed was about using transaction metadata, which is making a transaction itself to store data on a blockchain. But that same process can be done when you're minting an asset. So in that minting transaction, you can add a lot more rich data. And I think you've seen that in the ecosystem, already with all our different NFT projects and how they can be more visual and more readable and understandable of the information that is, attached to that asset.
In my case, the main interest is still money transfer or financial services. Because I think that's the one we can easily find solutions, and that's the one which is actually the most accessible. And money is fungible by nature. It's going to be shared by more participants. Money transfer and financial services are more accessible in poorer countries than in northern countries. For example, like you have in Canada, I know a money service business. You may not need a lot to establish it, but should you want to install a bank in Canada, you may need quite a lot of funds and a lot of guarantees. In the DRC, a bank-like service will cost you not more than $1 million to establish. Such a company having the capacities of a bank, once we launch it, having blockchain in its main service, one of the competitive advantage we'll have against other financial institutions is that we'll be able to basically offer services that they will just not be able to compete with it. For example, the little payment between users in our accounts will be done via an application, an app. So some will be on the blockchain, some will be offline, but keeping records of our books will be easier given that we'll be reliant on the blockchain itself.
One of the things that we're looking to do is really just empower people on the continent as well as in the diaspora. So we've been playing with a lot of different ideas. I know that the idea of a DAO is still kind of, it's not solidified exactly what that is, but that voting mechanism and community ownership mechanism, we're looking to get right. So that's something that I'm really fascinated about. Just really kind of understanding how diverse ecosystems can work together to produce outcomes. Oracles are very exciting for me as well. Just how we get information from outside the blockchain onto the blockchain. So those are how those things work together, and then the interface that allows the general public to use it with ease. I think that being in this space sometimes, especially the developer space, I think we have a tendency to get excited about the function and not the form. So that's another one of those things that I'm excited about, is like how we can make things work in a way that people find it easy to use, and somehow it improves or makes more efficient how they go about their day.
I think I have been saying since the beginning that I believe Haskell is the unsung hero behind Cardano, given that it's a functional programming language, which is a paradigm that started like and that was kind of neglected. I think we can see a huge shift with new programming languages, or even like old established ones like Java, trying to stick some functional concepts in their languages. What makes me, really feel good about Cardano, it's Haskell, first of all. I remember when I was getting into blockchain, at the same language, a new paradigm that would make sense to me, writing code that I could actually reason about and make sense of, and that I had Cardano, or I discovered Cardano at the same time as was transitioning toward functional programming really meant a lot to me.